But he hasn't been wrong yet, so you kind of got to just go with it. And I was like, do not tell him that.
I have been wrong before. Don't quote that. I don't know on what, but I have been.
I'm only giving you one teaser this week. You just run that one.
That's not.
And welcome back to the Riley Black Project. Crystal and John.
Hey.
What's up?
Surviving.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You're not wearing a TRBP shirt today.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to try. I've been doing pretty good today. And then
we start recording and you start coughing.
But yeah, so this is it's actually from Fashion Nova. Yeah. Casuals, everything around me. $1 bills, y'all. Mm-hmm. But it's the colors, and I was too lazy to change, so I ran with it. Gotta switch things up. I changed. I put on You didn't change, you didn't have a shirt on.
Right, so I put on the shirt.
That works.
So, show's brought to you by
Katie
or sponsored by
Monarch Pine. She is giving our listeners 10% off with code Riley Black on her Etsy, monarchpine.etsy.com.
And it's a shout out episode.
It is.
You got your list?
I got my list.
Did you check it twice?
I did actually. I checked on Patreon. And I was like, did we have any cancellations this month? And thank you very much. No. We did not.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For not.
Right? I don't know how I'm going to do this. You might have to do this.
I'm not good at that part. I do this part and the cameras.
Take
some water. 3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
The list. Here we go.
Stephanie Aaron with Pretty Pity Design. That's going to be a tough one. Catherine with Primary Market. Aaron with Aaron's Acrylic Animals. Christy C. Jess with Jersey Girl Sign Shop. Jillian B. Allison with Black River Arts. Trisha, Heather Lynn with Lobo Designs, Crystal with Spreading Stardust, Liz with Laser Outpost, X Tool Jewelry, Blank's longest name on the play. Love you, Liz. Superfan, Brandy Mahoney, Victor with Excited Adam, Katie with Monarch Pine again, Camille, Lisa, David with Creative Cut Supplies, Stephanie Long, Barbie, Madison with Laser Maple, Emily with TM Wall, that mom with a laser. The Kathy Ray, Ryan with Sprouts Creations, and Will, Crazy Laser Dad.
Number one.
The number one.
Yeah, just the number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number one, all the things.
Number one, all the things, and we're getting close to seeing a lot of them in person again.
Yeah, including seeing our guests again in person.
I guess I should. Is that your way of telling me hurry up and introduce them?
I mean, that's kind of the next thing, isn't it?
That is the next thing. So our guests today, we have more than one.
We do.
We have more. It's very rare that we have more than one.
It is.
But we have more than one. They hosted a cruise.
That's pretty fun.
Which is no small feat.
No.
I mean,
we got to talk about that.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. Also, not a small feat. They're parents to 6 kids. We got 2.
We can handle our 2.
Gonna have to ask them how they do that.
Right.
They have a new paint label.
That's pretty fun.
And one of them, we'll try to see if we can guess which one likes to ride BMX. Welcome to the show, Kim and Garrett of Kim and Garrett Make It.
Hey guys.
Hey, what is up? Thanks for having us. How is it going?
So which one is BMX?
I'm gonna say Kim.
You would be right.
Yeah.
See?
Big on the BMX scene.
Yeah.
Can't get her away from it.
So how long have you been doing that? Like since a little kid, or did you start later in life?
I always rode at two-wheeled bikes, but then I saw the movie Rad. So whenever that movie came out, which I believe was 1984. So
yeah, a long time.
Right? Yeah. I'm like, you're aging all of us right now.
Right?
Yes. Okay, embrace it. It's all right.
Right?
We're younger than our parents were.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we are.
Yeah.
Like when I was in my 20s, 50 seemed so old. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I am never going to get there.
We just had
Right.
a conversation in the car
Yeah.
I
traveling
just
last
turned
night.
40. So I just turned 40. My sister is she's 7.5 years older than me, so she's like 40. She's 47 and a half-ish. She'll be 40. I think she'll be 48 this year. Is that right? Or 47? I don't know. I can't do the math right now. Anyway, she's nearing 50, and that's insane to me, which I mean, it helps that she doesn't look like it at all.
Right.
She looks young for her age,
I
but
think that's
still,
the whole. I think that's the whole Gen X thing. That's what I was saying. Like when I was a kid, like 40-year-olds looked old.
Have you seen the reels and the shorts and stuff that are like going around that like this is what 50 and this is what 40 looked like in like the movies and stuff, and they had like the old lady hair and
Golden
like
Girls.
Yeah.
They were like in their 40s or 50s and they were portraying.
They might have played older, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
they were a lot younger than what they were portraying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So but whatever. That's what makes us fun and cool, right?
We're the cool kids in class now.
Right. So then the next item on your fun facts list is 6 kids. How the heck do you guys
How'd you
manage
decide
all of
past
that?
2? That you really keep going?
You just find them. You just kind of find them places, like different places.
You're just like,
pick
oh,
kids
I'll
up.
take this
I
one.
just don't take them home. I find them too. I don't take them home with me.
Is that?
Don't see. Oh, so you don't have to always bring them
Yeah, I
home.
just figured that's what had to happen.
No, we are quite the blended family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you wanna give our quick backstory? We have quite a story.
Yeah,
We can give you
I love these
the
stories.
short version.
Yeah.
Like the whole version.
Yeah.
So, I was living in Northern Virginia, and my wife had passed away suddenly. So I was like a single dad of 4. So
Oh my goodness.
I brought 4 of them,
Right.
and we were doing okay for a pretty good while there. I thought I was handling it. I couldn't handle it too well in Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
So I decided we needed to move south. So we came to Richmond, and I had a lot more breathing room, and I actually had a little more help, and I had a little more time on my hands as the kids got older. So I ended up running into Kim.
Great. So I brought the oldest and the youngest. So I have one, and she's the oldest, and then I know this all sounds sad, but we're everybody's okay.
Yes.
My sister passed away, so my niece
Oh my goodness.
is with us. So but she has lived in this house with me since she was born with my sister, and then she passed away in 2018, so 6 years ago. So Grace is 16 now, so she's the youngest at 16.
Okay.
And the oldest is Courtney, and she's 30. She just she turned 30 in December, so she's I guess 30 and a half now.
Yeah.
So she's like, I can't believe I'm 30. Can you believe you have a 30-year-old? I'm like, I cannot. And I don't like telling anybody that either, because
right?
Crazy.
Yeah, we actually just had a vow renewal this last weekend for our 10-year, and your friend's granddaughter was there. Yeah. And she pointed out the lovely fact of how she was 2 when we got married, and she's now 12 and looks 20 something. And I was like,
damn chicken.
Right?
Damn hormones in the chicken. They're not, that generation is not going to age.
So
they're not going to age like we did.
No,
right, that's right.
I don't know, yeah, because they just look so much older, and like her brother, he was taller than all of us. How old is Isaiah? 16?
Yeah, 16.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I can't even believe that we have a 7 and a 3-year-old. And now the 6 makes more sense because it wasn't necessarily like planned.
Yeah.
Straight out the
Right.
gate.
We weren't pretending we were John and Kate plus 8. It just happened to happen.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
Dawn, does she have 6 or does she have 7?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's all traumatizing to me.
Yeah.
Because we got 2 that we can't. And how you did 4 by yourself.
Oh my God.
I mean, 5
he's
of them
gone
were
for a
breeze.
weekend and I'm losing my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I think we really only had one tough one.
Yeah.
We only had one tough cookie.
Yeah.
The rest have all been a breeze.
That's the one you sent
Was that
back.
the youngest?
The second to youngest.
Okay.
His youngest.
Yeah, my youngest.
Yeah, that's what
she
I
definitely
mean.
takes after her dad.
Right.
Stole the car.
Oh my
Oh.
God.
What else? What are all her
I don't know if we're
things?
gonna
I
put
don't
all
know.
that on blast.
Well,
That girl is
Let's wait till the what's that statute of limitations?
Yeah. We're not incriminating anybody.
We see the reels about like the second kid syndrome, and that's Jackson. And like, what was it? Someone asked us the other day, like, which kid, if you got a call that one of your kids was in jail, which one would it be? And we both answered Jackson,
100%.
in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It like he's a lot.
Yeah.
He's funny and he's
0
cute
Fs
and
given.
he's none.
You
You say don't touch the TV and he goes.
He thinks it's a touchscreen.
Oh yeah,
And he goes, and then he not only touches it, he gets your attention if you're not looking at him. Like, hey, mommy, I'm gonna hit it now. Like,
wait, we needed to make eye contact.
Yes.
Real quick.
and
Well, I'm breaking the
looking at me like,
rules.
do
Me
you
and
see
you.
me?
You
I'm
see me
about
now?
to do exactly what you told me not to do, and it's like,
Yeah, that was ours. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I feel your pain. So,
Welcome to the revolution in laser engraving. Introducing Lens Digital, the creators of the game-changing Pyburn rotary attachment. With the Pyburn 4.0, you can turn ordinary cups, tumblers, glasses, and more into extraordinary masterpieces.
looking to engrave niche items or want the functionality of a Chuck rotary? Look no further than the Pyburn Grip, Lens Digital's Chuck-style rotary. With a range of different sized jaws, you can easily engrave a wide variety of items. All Lens Digital products are compatible with most CO2 and Galvo lasers and were designed specifically for the laser industry. All that, paired with the best-in-class customer support, Lens Digital is your one-stop shop for all of your rotary needs.
Transform your laser engraving game with Lens Digital, where makers succeed. Unleash your creativity today.
And don't forget, we are proud Lens Digital affiliates as well. If you're shopping, code Riley Black will take $50 off any order of $600 or more.
Speaking of all things laser, check out Houston Acrylic at houstonacrylic.com for reliable laser tested and laser approved materials.
Made for makers by makers, Houston Acrylic features over 450 styles of acrylic sheets. With over 50 new arrivals being released this month, Houston Acrylic is committed to bringing new and innovative styles to the laser community. My personal favorite is the matte, anything matte, and I feel it's perfect for everything.
Don't forget to save 10% by using our exclusive coupon code TRBP10 at checkout. Get inspired today and visit houstonacrylic.com.
Do it. I want to get into the cruise too, and then your background. But tell us about. Actually, let's get into your background first, because I'm sure the new paint line, and your cruise is kind of like part of that story. So how did Kim and Garrett make it come to life?
Well, I've always been kind of artsy. I thought I was going to be an art teacher until I found out how much money they made.
Right.
So then I became a web developer and a systems engineer. But I started with a fine arts degree. Mm-hmm. So I've always had that, and I always was building things. I say things. It was mainly ramps. I just built a lot of ramps.
Right.
Yeah.
As well.
And then when I met Kim, she was very crafty. She was running scrapbooking workshops and
right,
doing all that stuff. And I was going to the scrapbooking stores and the little events with her, just hanging out. And I was like,
Scrapbook Expo. Yeah. That was like when we first started dating. I was like, you want to go to this with me? He was like, okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love a festival. Yeah.
Right.
So, and then I don't know. We have 2 kids. You know, one of them is Tanner. You guys probably hear about him on our channel sometimes.
Yeah.
He works with us, and him and his sister are hilarious. They're hilarious, and when they get together and they just start roasting something. And at one point, they were just sitting on the couch roasting a TV show, and I thought it was hilarious. And I was like, "You guys need to have a YouTube channel where you do this kind of thing. You like just roast these things because it's lighthearted and it's funny.
Channel.
Yeah,
just
like
watch
a commentary
something
channel.
and then
And they're like, "Oh, you're crazy, Dad! You can't just start a YouTube channel." And I was
you
like,
can.
It's called YouTube. That's,
You
put things on the tube.
They don't even know what a tube is.
No,
Right? Yeah, or real light bulbs.
Yeah.
But so I was like, Kim, that's it. You're gonna start a YouTube channel. I'll film you.
That's what he said. You start one, Kim. And I was like,
you do your scrapbooking.
like,
yeah.
It's just like, no.
He goes, no. You can just get up there and do a craft, and then I will film you, and then I will edit it. And I was like, no, if I'm doing a YouTube channel, your face is going to be in there too. I'm not
right.
So
that wasn't part of the deal.
This podcast thing was his idea.
Yep.
And he didn't know much about like the laser world. So it was going to be mostly me. I'm like, but you have to be on there. So I'm not there by myself. And so he was the beginner role and then all the brains behind. Yeah. But you definitely know a lot more now, but
behind
he does
every
all the
great
cameras.
woman, there's a pretty good man.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Yeah. That's super cool.
Yeah. We're just trying to prop you guys up.
So did it just like snowball from there? And
yeah, well, we had just moved into a new house, so we were doing all these things. We were making things for that new, like we needed furniture. We moved into a much bigger house.
Well, that's because it started again with hey, I want this big cabinet thing.
I wanted this huge bookcase that I had seen at World Market.
Expensive.
Yeah, it was very expensive, and I was like, "Oh, I can build that."
Yeah, we can make that. We can totally make that.
We can totally make that. She's like,
I don't want to make it.
I was like, yeah. We watched. We can do it for like $150 and save ourselves like $1,200.
Right.
And we did, and it looks great. We still have it.
Well, we first started with our hands, right? Neither of us wanted to get in front of the camera. So we agreed that we would just make the things, but not show our face.
Right.
And that doesn't go very far.
It only works for and it only works for so many things. He yells at me all the time because I don't want to be on it either. I'm like, just get my hands. And then I'm like, but you got all of me. And he was like, how was I supposed to get the shot without you in it? And I was like, I don't know, but you should have.
Yep. So that's how that grew. So then, yes, we were like, okay, we're going to make this cabinet. Well, now we're going to be on camera because we're building a piece of furniture. So there's not just hands involved in that. So, things. So it just kind of, evolved. And it moved from like furniture and home decor.
Okay.
And then it moved into lasers. Because we were doing the Cricut. So I had a Cricut and I was doing stuff with vinyl and you're making all these things. And then Garrett's like, you know what we need? We need a laser. And I was like, I don't think we do. And he was like, we do. And I was like, I don't, for what? And he was like, like the signs you're making.
I need to cut thicker things like wood.
Yeah.
And she's like, get a CNC machine. So I got a CNC machine. And that lasted... Well, first it took me forever to put it together.
Right.
And he quit.
And I got bored and I left.
Yeah. And then I was like, I will finish putting it together. And he was like, no, you have no idea what's out there.
There are so many pieces. You can never do that.
You're never going to do it. And then I was like, just let me do it. Because it's like a puzzle. I mean, I found it kind of fun. Yeah. But I didn't start it. I was just coming in and rescuing it like halfway through. So
not all heroes wear capes.
I took it across the finish line. And then we broke a couple of, what was that like? We were through 3 routers, right?
Yeah.
We're breaking bits and what is it, like bending the little shaft?
Yeah, we
and
bent
Right.
the
we were,
country, bent the
we were
shaft,
like,
we were breaking
okay,
bits.
this thing's driving me crazy.
It was so loud, and I was like,
And messy too,
I need a
right?
laser.
Messy.
Yeah, and messy. I was like, I need a laser, and she's like, no, you don't need a laser. So then I bought this little 5-watt laser just to show her what it can
It just
do.
came in the mail. I was like,
Yeah.
what is this? He goes, oh,
Nothing.
this is,
a
I'm going to
laser.
put it together and I'm going to show you what it is. And I was
Little baby
like,
laser.
yes, this
It's
little,
like baby laser.
it's just the L and it
Right.
would do its thing. And I was like, oh,
It was like $200.
I was like, that's kind of cool.
Smart.
I
I was like, look how detailed it can get.
You got her.
Attention all laser owners and crafters. Are you tired of spending hours cutting, painting, and assembling laser products? Look no further than Crazy Laser Dad Laser Ready Blanks.
Their high-quality blanks are expertly sourced, tested, and ready to use with your lasers. Say goodbye to the hassle and frustration of time-consuming projects and hello to more time creating and selling.
Plus, with their wide selection of items, you'll surely find the perfect blank for all your customers.
So, what are you waiting for? Visit crazylaserdad.com today and take your laser crafting to the next level with their laser-ready blanks.
Hey there, podcast listeners. How great would it feel if this was the year you finally got to escape your 9-to-5 to embrace your lifestyle of creativity and entrepreneurship?
Every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, Eon Laser USA invites you to join the Freedom to Create webinar, where you'll learn how to make this a reality.
Join leading laser industry professional and brand ambassador Emily, aka That Mom with a Laser, and Eon Laser USA's sales manager Alicia as they dive into all things Eon.
Learn about the advantages of owning an Eon laser and get the scoop on Eon's rewards and partner benefits. Plus, get a glimpse at how everyday people who started out with zero experience paid off their lasers, scaled their businesses, and transformed their lifestyles.
So if you're ready for a lifestyle change, head over to eonlaser.us/whyus and sign up for the Freedom to Create webinar today.
Thanks for listening. Laser on. Listen, you watch... I started with a Glowforge, and I remember cutting the Gift of Good Measure because that's always what you did with the Glowforge, and seeing it like engrave like the first time, you're like, and you're hooked. You're immediately hooked because it's just so cool, especially if you have like any kind of crafty or artistic kind of like creating or making background. Seeing something like just seeing the laser work it'll hook you real quick. So that is a great idea for people who don't have the budget right away. If you're not sure, get one of those cheap ones. Know that you're not going to be able to like cut through, and you're gonna know your limitations, but it's a good thing to see like, okay, you invested $200 to hook her, besides like having to spend like 2 to 5 up to 10, 15,000. It's easy. It's a good stepping stone.
It worked. I made some earrings that I engraved these cool like mandala symbols
designs
on. I was like these are so great. And then engraved
I was like,
so
great
many things,
So that was just to show you what a laser can do. I want this Glowforge thing.
Yeah.
So you guys got a Glowforge too. Nice.
Yep.
How long did you have that for?
Like 3 months.
Yeah.
3 months, and I was like, I need something bigger. I need to go bigger.
So fast. He was like, do you see what we can do with this? We need to go bigger.
What do you have now? Don't you have like a Nova or something ginormous?
Yeah, we have a Nova 14 and then a couple of some Chinese no-brand laser things.
Yeah.
But big, the same size.
Yeah, same size. We got them big.
Oh.
Wow.
We had to have them shipped
that
from
escalated.
China.
Yeah, it did.
So wait, how much time from the $200 like 5-watt diode to the like family of ginormous lasers?
6
to the
months.
family? Well, 6
months.
months. 6 months for the first big one.
From the first one,
that was in like November.
It was 3 months later, and I got a Glowforge.
Okay, and then 3 more months.
3 months later, I got the big 100-watt that was 36 by 53.
You
it was
move
in the
fast.
summertime.
And then
Yeah.
3 months later, I got an 80-watt that was 20 by 36.
Yeah.
Well, every
28
time
by
he kept
36.
saying, we can, well, do you see what we can do? I can't. Well, if we had a second one, I could be cutting backers over here. I could be cutting other pieces over here. We could produce twice as fast. Yeah. Every time it was,
man.
he's quite the salesman.
And then-
he just goes and goes.
Has he been wrong yet so far, though?
So it's so funny that you say that. the other day we were in the shop, and my oldest Courtney was in there with me, and she was looking at the paints, and she goes, I can't even believe that. She's like, how are the paints doing? I was like, oh, great, they're doing great. She goes, I can't believe all that. She goes, it's like a whole little section where they're all the inventory is,
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't even believe all of that. And I was like, I know. She goes, well, what did she say? All of Garrett's big ideas. And she goes, but he hasn't been wrong yet. So you kind of got to just go with it. And I was like, do not tell him that.
I have been wrong before. Don't quote that. I don't know on what, but I have been.
I'm only giving you one teaser this week. You just run that one.
That's not fair.
I think we're a good balance. I think that's what it is. I'm a jump first and then look on my way down.
He's like, whoa.
Yeah,
do we
she
have
gets
space for that? Do we? Yeah, I want to buy all the things, and he's like, do you really need that? And I'm like, well,
I come prepared with receipts and be like, yep, here's what we can do. Look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she walks around with a tape measure, it's dangerous.
I did today, but it was actually for the conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was trying to figure out what size banner I need for my booth.
Oh, you're gonna have a booth there.
I am. So I'm actually gonna have two. Because I like to make things interesting. So I have the Ask Me Anything booth where people can ask me any silhouette questions. And then I'll have my keychain thingies booth where I slang all the keychain thingies and accessories. So, John.
So if you're going to be at the laser conference and you want to save yourself some shipping and a little discount.
It's a big discount.
Stop by. Well,
No, it's big.
It's like free shipping if you're there, right?
Yeah.
Free shipping in person.
Because you pick it up. Yeah.
Yep.
Unless the airline charges you.
Right. Yeah, it's so funny. People bring and keychain thing is, that can fit in anything. That can fit in your purse. Yes. That can fit in your carry-on. But yeah, so him and Victor's man, Jeff, will be manning the booth for me, the keychain thingies booth, and then I'll be at the Ask Me Anything booth. So yeah, I have two booths, but I'm only getting I think one banner and maybe something else for the podcast. But yeah, and
we'll be doing a live show from there.
Yes, we will.
Oh,
you guys
really?
have to come join us. We're planning on hopefully Saturday night, since the mixer is on Friday. We'll find somewhere around there to do it on Saturday night, because that was really fun. Because as you can tell, obviously, we don't normally have an audience. It's me and him and whoever our guest is. So having an audience last year was actually pretty cool.
I'm sure it's
to
cool.
engage everyone.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
yeah, and immediate laughs to your jokes. It's not just me or him. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. Because a lot of people laugh at my jokes when nobody's behind the camera.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it would really kill my ego if they go over lead balloons in person.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm a lot funnier with my editing.
Yeah.
So,
editing is
takes.
key. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did at what point did the new paint line, how did that come about? Was that another one of, you did kind of say that was another one of his ideas, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That came
There's
about
not
because,
enough paint out there. You're like, I gotta.
well, here's the thing. So every Tuesday we go live and we paint a new door hanger on Tuesdays. Okay. And so folks pop in, and I can't tell you how many times they're like, ooh.
Well, we use outdoor house paint to paint our signs because they're outdoor signs.
Right.
So they needed to be UV and weather resistant.
Right. So you we don't want to seal them.
Yeah.
We tried the whole sealing it with spray. And then if there's any,
that always ruins it. Yeah.
We've had all kinds of drama.
Yeah.
And so we learned early on, just paint it with outdoor house paint. That seals it. We're good. You're good to go. You don't have to do anything. It's like painting the outside of your house. It's good.
And then in every video that we would use this paint, and every live that we would use this paint, they would say, "What paint are you using?" And I got really sick of telling them what paint I was using.
Right. Yeah,
so
I can see that.
There's obviously a hole that needs to be filled.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be an outdoor craft paint with poppy colors, and it needs to be a good
in sizes that a crafter would use.
Right.
So
Not the
like
1 gallon. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not a full gallon where you're paying $50 or $60 for a full gallon.
Right.
You don't need all of that lime green. There's only so many Grinches you're going to do at Christmas time.
Yeah.
Right.
So they wanted something. They needed something smaller. So we were able to kind of fill that gap by being able to offer the outdoor house paint to paint the signs that we do, and then offer it in something that's, a little more affordable. And you can buy a full set of colors, all the colors we use, because we sell them in sets.
Nice.
In addition to individuals. But
yeah. That's so cool. How do you even know where to start for something like that? It seems such a lofty.
Yeah. That's proprietary. They can't tell us.
I mean, obviously share what you can share without creating more competition for yourself. But what advice would you give to someone who wants to create something of their own like that, because it makes sense for, their business?
So in a prior life, I was a systems engineer. So what I would do for a government contractor is I would gather internal requirements, and then I would go out and I'd contact manufacturers and things, vendors, manufacturers, and then I'd be able to produce RFQs and RFPs, and I'd work with the vendors. So when I was like, that's it, we're starting our own paint brand, I was able to just go find manufacturers and talk to them. And the same thing we did with our wood. I went and found the manufacturers and we talked to them.
Yeah.
So I would say, get your ducks in a row. Know what your requirements are.
Right.
And then start reaching out to some manufacturers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And be prepared to choke on the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell them this is what you want to do.
Hard part.
And not everyone. I mean, some of them were way, they were like, ooh, this is the artistic paint. And I was like, well, let's just dial this back. This is for crafts. I'm not making art. I mean, it's my art, but
we need outdoor paint in these colors with these properties. And then a couple of them were like, no, you can't do that with outdoor paint. So then we had to find an outdoor paint company or manufacturer that
was willing to
test it and work with it and send us sample after sample after sample until we got it right.
Test it out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I might need to pick your brain a little bit on some things, because I want to do the same thing with the keychain thingies. There's a huge gap in some of the things I offer in colors and sizing. And I've asked, my normal suppliers a million times, like, I need custom colors. And they're, it's always like, I think one of them is just a straight up no. And then the other one is like something like 300,000 is like the minimum. And I'm like, cool, not going to test, navy blue for 300,000 of them and have, navy blue keychain thingies for the rest of my life. But so it's just, it's things like that. But I mean, that's super cool. It's a great
it
idea.
took us like about a year to actually launch the paint, working with the manufacturer and everything. So
yeah,
well, and then we started.
I'm sure.
We were able to start small.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it was a big investment for us, but it wasn't a huge order for them.
Right.
But they allowed us to kind of start, and we didn't go too crazy with it because I was like, all right, let's just roll this out here. Let's see if people buy it.
we ended up meeting with the manufacturing owner, and then we just explained to him what we were trying to do.
Right.
And he was all on board at that point.
That's
he
awesome.
Liked what
So
we were trying
it's kind of
to
like
do.
finding the right fit. So sometimes like finding your so I love sometimes when I find like just even as simple as a customer like that, where you get along, like where you understand what they're saying, you have some ideas and they're like, oh my gosh, yes, that's a great idea. Let's try it. You know, finding that relationship with, you know, manufacturer or customer, you know, anyone down the line is important to, you know, getting the product you want. Because if you have one that's like, oh no more changes, like, you know, it's two alterations and you're done, it's like, okay, well, you're not going to work for the process that you know we need or whatever.
Yeah, he was really great because he gave us all like options we hadn't thought about. He, you know, he started with, oh, well, we could sell you just the bases. If you want to tint it, you know, you could go get your own tinting machine. And Garrett went, oh. And I was like, no. Yes.
I started Googling.
He did.
Like, oh my God.
He was like, you know, you could buy one of those for whatever it was. And I was like, we're not doing that. You can't.
Right.
At least not to start. We're not going that deep in buying a whole tinting machine.
Yeah. Well, so how do you keep him like from just going, you know, running wild, or do you?
Especially with always being right.
Pretty good. He's pretty good about, because I think you recognize sometimes like, should I?
He's like, what?
Like, hold me back. I think sometimes you're like, should we do? This is what I want to do. We should do this. Should we do this?
Well,
and I'm like, tell me about it.
Tell
me about it. It's always super. I'm always like, what is it? Tell
Very skeptical.
Yeah.
He has to pitch it to you like on Shark Tank.
Yes, there's a lot of Shark Tank pitches. I'm on the whiteboard.
Yeah.
Like, before you say no.
Yep.
Hear me out.
Listen, it will work.
Right.
I thought about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and then the other cool thing you mentioned was the cruise. I'm not a cruise person, but I love what cruises bring. Does that make sense?
Norovirus?
No.
Yes, norovirus and ice cream. You can get them both on the boat.
Right. So, I mean, I went on one with my mom and I loved it. And it was just like a little short one. Like it was, you know, California, Catalina Island, Baja, and then like back to California. It was like a short one. I think it was, I don't know how many days, maybe two to four. I'm pretty sure there was like 2 days where it was like Catalina and Baja, and then you were at sea like 2 more days, I think. But I liked how like, I don't know, like just it was almost like a mini community. And like everything was like right there. There's a lot of fun activities. There's like 3 different like bars. We played bingo. There's like trivia. There's like all these like fun things. But then yes, you add in the potential for germs and like being in the middle of the sea.
I don't like the cabins.
Yeah, they are. They can be really well. The ones that aren't small are the ones we can't afford.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I am only there to sleep. Like, I walk in the room, I go to sleep. I wake up, I shower, I leave. Yeah. So,
right.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go on a cruise, but now I've been on like 6 or 7.
Right. Well, he was in the Navy. He was in the Navy when he was younger. And then when we talked about our honeymoon, I was like, what about a cruise? He was like,
I've been on a boat.
He was like, no.
Like, back to work.
I've done that. And I was like, no, that's not a cruise. That's not the same thing. Yeah. Because I've seen the ocean.
You've seen
there,
one, you've
done
seen
that.
them all.
And they're done it. I have the shirt.
Yeah. So I totally had to talk him in. I had to talk him into that one.
Yeah.
And we went and we had such a great time because just all the things that you said, right? So you can go, you get the drink package. So we would go have a drink. We'd walk from this bar to that bar. We'd go upstairs where the pool is.
It's like a tiny floating Vegas that you can't tell it's really floating. And then I wake up in the morning and I'm in a strange country.
And then
I mean, it's pretty much perfect.
Some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Get back on the boat. Party town until the next morning.
Yeah.
And you're
Party till everybody goes to bed. And then I wake up and I'm in a strange country. I mean, it's great.
And so that is how the cruise came about, is that we were talking during a Tuesday live. Somebody said they were going on vacation, going on a cruise, and we were like,
"Ooh, I love cruising.
Ooh, we love cruising. You know, we have such a good time."
That's how it happens.
Careful.
Those lives are dangerous because that's how they got us thinking about like Vegas next year. Now it's Costa Rica that we're considering. And that was just like a conversation.
I found out we were considering Costa Rica on Facebook.
Sorry.
I saw a poll come up. I'm like, wait. The Black Project vacation.
Hold up. I got to start packing.
Looks like Costa Rica's winning.
I know that you'd be down. I mean, we haven't been there.
No.
A lot of people love it.
How long does it take to get there?
That's a good question. I didn't think about that part. I don't know how far it is.
I don't like airports anymore. I don't like traveling. He's
an old grumpy man when it comes to traveling. Traveling does suck though, but
I don't. Yeah. And it's not like I'm not afraid of flying or anything.
No.
I don't like people. It's too many people.
It really is.
Too many
I like
people.
to go see cool places. I want to. We like to travel because I want to go see something.
I want to see
different,
cool and different.
Mm-hmm. Y'all don't got the Travel Channel.
It's not the same as
you should upgrade that package. Yeah, now they got like 4K TVs. It's like you're there.
You can do it in your actual reality. Walk around.
Right.
I'm a big toucher. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
he's a big toucher.
That'll get you in trouble. Now we know why they got 6 kids. He's a big toucher over
there. So it was on the live, and then it just kind of like
like from there. Somebody was like, "Oh, you guys should do a Kim and Garrett Make It cruise," and we were like, "Oh yeah, totally. Just like you, we were just painting, and we're like, yeah. We're down. You guys if you guys are in for a cruise, we're in for a cruise." And then we end that live, everybody, it's just a joke, right? Everybody's just joking about it.
Oh, it's just live talk.
And then like next week they bring it up again. How about that? Or maybe it was like 2 weeks, whatever it was. They bring it up again. How about that cruise? Are you guys serious about the cruise? You should book something for next year so that we can start planning. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. Well, if you guys are serious, I will ask my travel agent, And again, I didn't do anything. I just gapped it. I just laughed it off,
I don't
even
have a travel agent.
What
he said, I don't even have a travel agent.
Well, this happens to be a friend of ours who is a travel agent. So it's like third or fourth time. And I was like, okay,
fine.
I guess I could ask him. So I called up Jesse and I was like, look, if we wanted to do something like this, is that possible? Like, I said, I don't even know if it's 10 people, 4 people.
I was like, I think there's going to be 8 people.
Right.
And he goes, okay.
He's like, we could just book some rooms. We'll see. So Jesse's words were, we'll see if they put their money where their mouth is, because I said all these people are saying they're interested.
Oh my God. That just happened to me a couple months ago with our merch. We had and I get it, life happens and whatever. But the merch, I got I put a poll out and you'll have an overwhelming response to something. And they're like, yeah, get it. You get it. And they're like, good job. You got it.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, but I got it. Buy it now. And
buy it.
High five.
Right. We had a decent purchase for our merch. We actually had more than I figured we would, but we had something like 100 like participation, reactions or votes or whatever on all the like merch that they, would want. And I put it up and then they were like, cool, high five, good job. You put it up. It looks really nice on your
Yeah,
website.
that looks good. Yeah,
that
good
stuff
job.
looks awesome. Somebody's gonna love that stuff.
Right. Right. So it can be, and they ended up like purchasing, and then I had to you lovely algorithm. I had to reach out to several of them, like, hey, you said you were really interested. Like, this is going to be, because it was screen printing too. So it's not like I could do small batches easier. And I'm like, if you want, there's Stephanie Lockridge. She's been asking me for a podcast tank top for years. And I'm like, if you really want one, like, this is your opportunity. If you miss this pre-order, like, you don't get one. So if you really want a tank top, so I had to like reach out to a couple people, and we ended up, actually doing pretty well with them. But yeah, I get it with the, the interest, and then are you actually going to buy it and come?
And that's kind of what happened. We had over 50 people, I guess, 50 reservations. Put money down, put their $100 deposit down.
Right.
But then the final payment was due. The cruise was at the end of February.
It was like Thanksgiving.
Yes, it was due the weekend of Thanksgiving, the Sunday of Thanksgiving. So everybody just pumped out all this money to pay for Thanksgiving dinner, and then we're like, okay, Christmas is right here, and now it was time to pay your full cruise. The whole rest of your cruise.
And that's when they had to determine whether or not they really liked us.
Yeah.
Right. Like, how much do I like them? They're pretty cool, but
I mean, he could be a real jerk.
So we ended up with like 40 something people. We had like 10 reservations drop out. So it wasn't too bad. I mean, we still had.
So how many total did you have?
42. 42.
That's awesome.
I think it was.
That's impressive.
And they were all awesome.
Yes.
I would be impressed that 40 people. Listen, I'd be impressed if 40 people showed up to our podcast, like filming, and like all they have to do is like just walk over there wherever it is. You know what I mean? Like I'm always like I don't know. No matter how big our following gets, I always like feel like it's much smaller, and especially with the like the podcast. Like the people who are listening and supporting, like I don't really like see that. I kind of see the views on.
See you, and I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, I didn't say that, you asshole. But like you see the views and like you see the downloads, but it's not like those are just numbers. They're not people. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so like, and then it's like, okay, you can like me enough to listen to us every week, but do you like me enough to like spend money and like hang out with me on purpose?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, after we had the reservations and we were about ready to get to leave.
I was stoked. I was ready to go.
Yep.
I was in vacation mode.
Uh-huh.
And then Tanner goes, hey, how many people do you think will get the whole don't meet your heroes syndrome?
And Garrett's like, what does that mean?
What does that mean? He goes,
That's
I don't
not
know.
nice.
People might meet you and think you're a jerk. And I was like, oh my God.
You totally put that in his head. He was like,
we were leaving for the airport.
Do I have to dial it back?
That's so mean.
He was dead serious too. He goes, do you think they're going to get that whole don't meet your hero syndrome?
Well, listen, it's
you can be a little
possible
much.
Because I've told the story a few times. Was it the first conference or the second?
What? I wasn't there the first, so I don't know.
So it was the first one then. So the first one I had to travel by myself. It was in Sacramento. We live in Florida. So it was a lot. I had a layover in the Dallas airport, which fuck that airport. Okay. Thank God I had American Airlines, and it had like this fancy little, like, it literally had directions to get me through the airport that I like followed, kind of like driving directions, which thank God it did, because I would have never found the like train that I had to take. I think it was like, I don't know, I had like 20 minutes to get to my gate, and I had to deplane, find the train, get to the train. Like, I got to the gate as they were boarding. Like I had time. Like I think I was like B or however they do it, and A was
I wasn't
boarding.
there for that one.
Oh my god! And I was
must
like,
have been in rare form.
oh, I was. You know, anxiety was through it. He sees me traveling. I'm the worst traveler with my anxiety. This last time, I was like, I can't travel without medication of some sort, because like the last time we got there, we thought we had plenty of time, but the shuttle was screwed up, and like by the time we got to the gate, we had what, I don't know, 15 20 minutes.
Yeah, something
But
like
that's not enough for me. I need to get to the gate. I need to calm down and chill out, you know, because like just, you know, it's always a lot to me. And then so I get on the plane. And like, again, I'm still probably out of breath. I'm stressed out. My anxiety's through the roof. I'm walking on the plane. I'm by myself. Again, I hate traveling alone. And I hear someone call my name. And I'm like, oh God. I'm like, no, they don't mean me. They mean another Crystal. And I just keep walking. I'm trying to, you know, woosah myself. And she's like, hi, oh my God, I'm the biggest fan. I'm like, I was like, I am so sorry, but I'm really stressed out right now. I just ran like a mile through this airport.
Gotta turn it on. Turn on the
Yeah, that's it.
I quit in that moment. I was so done. But yeah, we can laugh about it later. And then she had an equally, it wasn't embarrassing to me, but it was embarrassing for her. So we're even now at the last conference. So like she had her awkward moment, I had my awkward moment, and now we're even. But yeah, my first ever like fangirl moment was me in like the thick of an anxiety attack. So yeah, he's not wrong.
No, I mean, the first time I got recognized,
he was
I
hilarious.
was so red.
He was almost like a little kid. We were in Michael's, and we were just looking for.
Even his drinks get bigger.
You just noticed it?
So the first one was like this big, and then all of a sudden.
That was like 2 sips ago. He had that jug. I wasn't gonna bring it up.
See it. Oh my God! Sorry.
I tried to keep it small.
I'm like, wasn't that iced tea a small? I'm like, whatever. We're just gonna let that go.
He's got him stacked over here. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
I love it. He drinks iced tea like that too, so I get it. Okay, so back to the first time he was recognized.
Oh gosh! So we were in Michael's just shopping, and somebody recognized him.
Yeah,
and,
but she wasn't quiet about it.
Yeah. She said, "Oh, I know you."
She's yelling from across the aisle. And this is the first time it's happened, and I'm like,
she gets down.
You know who? Yeah, she's squatted
and
down.
She's pointing at him.
And she's
oh
like,
my God.
I know him.
I was just watching you.
I know him. And I was like, oh my God.
He went 10 shades of red and just was like, poof. I was like, what are you doing? You know, but he was
She's
just
pointing you.
I could just see he was like,
he wants to running to run.
Yes. And I was like, hey, it's so nice to meet you. And he finally was like, hello. And then he was like, let's just go. Well, he's over that now, but that first time was hilarious.
You have to share your story about the time where we were at the club and someone recognized you. And this was before laser stuff. They recognized him, I think, because of him being on on TV a couple times because he worked for the news. Yeah. So every once in a while, like there was this show.
It was a lifestyle show, so I would kind of like break that fourth wall and like hand them something, or like
and
do
like be
funny
and be goofy or whatever. But like, so he made like a couple like really quick cameos. Right. So if you watch that show regularly,
not enough to like recognize me.
It happened 2 or 3 times. Clearly, it was enough to.
But by then, I was like a character on the show,
right? But so we were out and we were at the club, mind you. So like it's also kind of the atmosphere that he wasn't really like expecting it. Right. And this guy comes up to him and he goes, I know you. And he goes, you don't know me, bro.
But it's also that
I know you.
It's also that I'm from South Florida. And that's like always like I know he's like nah like it's always it's I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
But it's like you have that chip on your shoulder. So when someone says they know you, it's like I didn't grow up with you, and then it's like I'm not even from here, so you don't know me at all.
And so
he's like no and then that was the other thing too. We were coming back, like we were sitting at like a table, then we went to go get our drinks, and we were coming back to the table, and he was like sitting there, and he's like, oh, is this your table? Like you were like a few steps ahead of me.
He like wanted.
Yeah, then he's like, oh, I know you. I'm like, you're not taking the table. I'm like, you don't know me.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, and you're not like gonna party with us. I'm like, you don't know me and this and that. So I was rather rude.
He was.
And he walked away, and then she's like,
I go, babe, he might know you from the show and might not know where he recognizes you from. Because, sometimes like when you see someone outside of their element, you recognize their face, but your brain is struggling to make the connection as to like where. Like when I used to work at the grocery store, I would see celebrities all the time, and I'd be like, who are they? they're someone. It was usually some kind of like football star that I would, someone on Denver Broncos, and they wouldn't necessarily be like Terrell Davis or whoever.
Right.
But it would be like someone that like, okay, I've seen your face on TV, but most of the time you have a helmet on, and but yeah, so you're trying to like place them. But yeah, it was so funny. He was like, I was like, he might know you from the show, and he was like, oh shit.
Well, he's not going to watch anymore.
Yeah.
So we're okay.
That's okay. The show is
one
canceled.
view. Yeah, it's canceled now.
Yeah. But I mean, it's something you don't think about when you're doing this kind of stuff. And when like none of us really like go out and like, grew up like, oh, I'm going to have a laser podcast. You know what I mean? Like we fall into these things, and we just some crazy idea. We end up rolling with it. You see where it goes, and then all of a sudden it turns into a thing. Mm-hmm. And like we're normal or not normal people. So when you see us out in public, you see,
don't feed us in the wild.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Keep your distance just in case.
So how did the cruise go? Like what kind of activities did you guys have? Like what?
Oh my gosh, it was so good.
The cruise was awesome. The people were amazing.
Everybody became fast friends.
Yeah, fast friends.
Immediately, like
a
lot of the people were there, kind of knew each other. Everybody's really good friends now.
Yeah, we're all good friends.
But on the lives, we would have like a regular group of
core group,
core people that are like almost always there, and a lot of those guys went on the cruise.
It was like meeting pen pals.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I mean, names That's
going to happen in a couple weeks for me.
Yeah.
There's several guests that we've had on that we haven't met in person ever. And so there's a lot of people that, we've actually met you guys in person. But that's kind of rare for us. Usually we meet them this way and then hope to meet them, again at some event, later on. So there's a lot of guests that we'll actually be meeting in a couple weeks.
Yeah, like especially when we live in Virginia, and there were people from
Washington, Utah,
Boston,
California,
Texas, Utah,
Kentucky.
Yep, Kentucky. I mean, they're just from all over the United States,
Florida, and Louisiana,
and then just we tried to take the cruise. The cruise went out of Galveston, Texas, so. I tried to make it like center of the U.S. so everybody could kind of get there easily.
Right.
And I mean, it was so great. And we recognized everyone's faces from social media. But then you got to meet everybody and get to know them a little bit more. And we did have some activities. So same like your cruise, you were saying, we had a day at sea. The first day was down. We did 2 sessions, a session in the morning that was a craft. We did some sort of a craft because I called it a crafter's cruise. So Garrett's like, they don't really care if you do a craft. I was like, I called it a crafter's cruise. We have to craft
we have to do a craft.
So we made like these magnets that was like cruise related, and everybody painted them. So our paints were still relatively new. So We brought all the paints, and they got to try the paints out and stuff. And then in the afternoon session, we tried to make it more business focused and had some topics around like running your small business or your side hustle. If you wanted to make lasers your side hustle, we did. It was a marketing one the first time. And then there were 2 days that were where we were at destinations. So we did excursions, and I tried to get a group excursion. The cruise lines I did not get that worked out quite well. So live and learn. I learned some things. So next time if we do this again, it'll be a little better next time because I've learned some things.
The first one, there's always going to be some kinks and some things that you learn and some adjustments.
We were able to get everybody to come to dinner. I got dinner reservations, so we all sat at tables next to each other. So we got to know everybody. Got to sit with other people, and get to know each other. It wasn't one large table because it was too large of a group, but they were 4 tables. So
you had like a section
or something. Yeah. So we all sat at different tables. So we kept trying to mix it up so everybody would sit with different people. So we did that, and then
theme nights. Everybody dressed out for theme nights.
So they had a 70s night. They had what else? Wait a minute.
Hawaiian night.
The Hawaiian shirt night, and then there was another one, right?
I think it was just formal night.
Oh, and then the formal night. Yeah, that's what it was.
Everybody showed up and showed out.
Showed out. Like we told them. Garrett and I we love some Halloween and we love dressing up for Halloween. And
we have won a contest or two.
Yeah. We deck it out.
We love Halloween too.
We knew that if they were doing, if there was a gimmick, we were in. So when it was 70s night, I warned them. I was like, be prepared because we are going to be dressed for 70s night and we're going to be decked out. And so everybody else decked out too. Like they all joined the fun, and we had group pictures together. And then the excursions, like I couldn't get those together, but I did tell them, these are the excursions I've booked, and I tried to make them.
You can join us if you want.
Yeah, everybody could do. I didn't do anything super strenuous. So, and then some people joined us on the excursions, and I mean, it was just such a great time. Like, Louisiana, remember Chantal and Reggie? They were so fun. It's just we just met names we have seen, and chats that people we've chatted with, people that we didn't really know that well from the chats too. Showed up. They're like, "Oh yeah, I've been watching you for a long time," and I was like, "Oh, it's so crazy." Yeah, I don't really say much.
And everybody was just,
those are the ones that are hard. They they don't, it's like they don't exist because they watch, like quietly in the back, but they don't like comment or like, they're always like there and they support you and they are, but sometimes they are, but sometimes you're like, oh, really? You've been listening to me for like 2 years? I'm like, I've never seen your name before. And they feel like a jerk because I want to like know all of them, but it's just not possible in this brain of mine.
It's hard. I mean, and then everybody has we used to call them trucker names. Yeah. So everybody would have their business name up there. And then you would need to know like their real name.
There's so many times where they like didn't. So it happened to Emily once. She was meeting up with Julie. Julie did it or whatever. So she knew Julie in the group, but she was talking to her on Instagram from Julie's business page, and Julie wanted to like meet up for lunch or something. They were like, I don't know how far into lunch when she realized that Julie was Julie did it, like that they were one and the same. And I had to ask people all the time because I can't make that connection. I have to, like, knowing my child's school schedule is hard enough to know who, this sparkly whatever sawdust designs is Katie on Facebook. Like, I can't. Eventually, I will if it's like repetitive enough, but I can't make those connections. So
we're a lot better. But we used to. I started. So the big joke for us is I started on a paper plate. I was like, wait, let me write some of these down, and I would write their trucker name. Garrett was like, "What's your handle?" And he would write their business name down, and then their actual name. And then for a long time it was, where's the paper plate? Where's my paper plate? And then we got to pull the paper plate out. So we could call them by their actual name and instead of just their business name all the time.
Or Good Buddy. There was a lot of Good Buddies.
Good Buddy. That's good.
Yeah.
So was your kid hopefully wrong in that there was no one that ended up not liking you, I hope?
I don't think so, yeah.
If they
no
didn't,
one at least
they
hopefully
didn't voice
vocalized it.
Yeah,
at least nobody vocalized it. Yeah, no, I feel like I made a lot of good friends there. So
That's
I
awesome.
had a great time.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. Like we, our listeners, especially on our After Darks, like the ones that are only for our patron members, those are the ones where like, sometimes we'll get into like personal conversations and like really get like a connection with people. And
we get intoxicated.
We do. And so, the walls are down and we literally just hang out with them. And those are the ones that it's like.
That was the cruise. That's how we got on the cruise. You really got to know them. Yeah. They got to know us personally. And walls were down. Lots of bar. We would meet at this bar, that bar. Okay.
I love it.
Everyone had a drink package.
And we'd shut it down with pizza every night. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, if we go to Costa Rica, we got to find like an all-inclusive because like, just give me all the drinks, all the food. I don't want to have to worry about any of that.
That's right. Yes.
We think next year is going to be land-based.
So you have to me, it's huge because we barely just hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and you guys have 100,000 times that. So how did that grow? And then I also want to know, like, your son that is really good at roasting everyone. What does he think about, like parents that have 110,000?
Well, that one, he works for us now.
Right.
That's Tanner. He works there. He thinks it's great. Like, he says it all the time. He's like, man, I can't believe you guys did it. Can't believe you did it.
I think all the kids think that. At first it was embarrassing. Like they wouldn't tell people that we had a YouTube channel.
I can see that.
Once it grew a little bit, then now it's switched and now they all brag about it. Now they're like, oh, my parents have a YouTube channel. They have $100,000 subs or whatever.
Right. $100,000.
So it's just so different than what it was in the beginning. Because in the beginning they were embarrassed by us.
Yeah.
Ours are young enough not to be embarrassed yet, except Jackson.
I don't know the way JR was walking into summer camp and walking out. It's like he wanted nothing to do with us.
We dropped him off at summer camp today. Brand new place, never been there. He basically knows nothing about it.
He was like 5 steps ahead of us.
And the guy was like, "Hey," and he was gone. Like he did not even look back. We're like, "Oh,
he's like, I gotta go."
I'm independent. I got things to do.
Yeah, right. Jackson has told me to stop dancing in the car before, and I'm like, if I'm embarrassing you at 2, you got a long road ahead of you.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah,
I could see them like flip flopping a couple times depending on like where we're at, depending on their age. Because like right now, I think JR thinks all this stuff is cool. He wants to be like on it. He wants to touch all of it. Like, what does that do? You know. But I could also see him becoming a teenager and being like, oh, that's stupid or embarrassed.
You guys are so cringe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we were cringe. Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah, cringe. Oh, God. What was the one? The coolie guy?
Coolie guy.
Or coolie pants or something like that?
I was trying to be a coolie guy. Yeah, because I wore my
Tell
gold
him
chains.
That story. That was hilarious.
He had a birthday party at like what is it, community pool or whatever. So So I busted out my 2 chains that I have, and not even. So I have a collection. I like my jewelry.
He likes to show off.
And I low keyed it. I was like, I'm wearing my chains, but I'm low key. I'm just gonna wear these 2 and whatever.
That was
and
low key.
I wore them. Yes, and I
so
wore
wait,
them.
what's high key?
I love it. I love it.
My Poly D. That's not really the Poly D.
You'll have to show me.
Yeah, I'll show it to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
you have to show me now.
Yeah.
I'm
going to need to see that.
And I'll take a picture and post it.
Right, yeah, we'll just bring it to Tulsa.
Huh?
Bring
it to the
it to
conference?
Tulsa.
Tulsa.
Yeah.
Yes, you should.
All right. Well,
Yes.
I'm gonna have to bring my piece too. I think my concealed weapons works in Tulsa. I'll check to see the state requirements.
Well, I don't think we're going to
traveling with
Turks and
kids, that's the
Caicos. I
hardest
think
part.
we're okay.
Sorry, what?
So we're not going to Turks and Caicos. I think you're okay.
Yeah.
You never know. I've heard there's some rough spots in Oklahoma, so you know.
Yeah. So I wore my chains and I wore them all day. Like we came home or whatever, I still had them on, and
Yeah.
because I didn't, it's not like I went back to the safe and put him back.
Right.
So I'm putting him down, bedtime, and he goes, "Daddy, why are you wearing these?" And then he like jingles them. He jingles them. He's like, "You trying to be a coolie guy?" And I was like, "Oh man, my soul hurt," because part of me was trying to be a coolie guy. And he called me out. A 6-year-old called me out.
Yeah.
Like some kind of mafioso too. He's like, hey,
Hey, what is this?
what's this? You trying to be some coolie guy?
I'm like, man, yeah, I am.
Hit the bricks, buddy. Hit the bricks.
Can I
Hit
read
the bricks. Turn the light out on your way out.
I used to be somebody.
And then you had kids.
Yeah, and now I'm a coolie guy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a shirt.
But now, I mean, he probably also would like. He would probably be like, "Oh, did you see my dad's change?" It could be like kind of the same. Like
every time
in front of you, he's like razzing you, and then to his friends, he's like,
when
"Yeah, that's my dad."
When we would go out, that's not like the pool or whatever. If we were going to a party, and he would see me putting on my chains, he'd ask for his.
That's true. We got him one.
I sized down one of my chains and made it into a chain and a bracelet for him.
Yeah,
and he would ask me to wear it, and I'm like, okay, but you can't be jumping around and playing and all that because you're gonna break.
You gotta be cool, like a coolie guy.
You gotta be
right?
A coolie guy.
If you're gonna wear the coolie guy uniform, you gotta play it cool.
Right.
I mean, we might have been assuming it was derogatory at first. It might be something cool.
Yeah,
right.
Maybe.
Yo, man, what's up, coolie guy?
I'm gonna need some of that. Yeah.
All right. I feel like we could talk to you guys for forever, so we might have to have like a continuation, like a part 2 with Kim and Garrett later on.
We could invite you up.
Yes, definitely come join us on
the live
that Saturday night whenever we do the live at the conference.
Yeah.
You guys gave us a couple discount codes to your website, so go ahead and tell people where they can find you. And then that's where they can
find you,
get their discount.
All right, you want to go for it, or you want me to do it?
Go for it.
All right, so you can find us on YouTube, Kim and Garrett Make It, and then the coupons are good for our online store, kngmakeit.com, and that's where you can find all of your laser supplies, your laser boards. You can find our door round hanger kits. You can find our paint kits, all of those things on our website. The coupon's good for all of those things.
And so it was it 15? Is that what and what does that get them? Is it 15%?
15% off. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So it's TRBP 15 for what he calls general admission.
If you want that exclusive, you gotta go over on Patreon.
You want that coolie guy stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
You gotta go to Patreon.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, right?
Thank you guys for
find and follow them, subscribe. Yeah. They don't really need more, but I mean it's nice. That's true.
You always need more friends.
So subscribe to us and then go subscribe to them and let's all get more.
And if you're not subscribed to us, subscribe to us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, subscribe to them. They have a great podcast.
Right? We think it's pretty cool sometimes.
We listen.
Well, thank you guys for being on. We'll see you guys in Tulsa.
Yeah, we will see you in Tulsa.
And you guys stay there for our life update coming up next. And we are back with the life update. Mm-hmm. If you've been watching and you noticed that my hat looks a little different.
Thank you, Tabitha.
Pretty cool
emblem there.
And
it's acrylic.
It's It's pretty bad. And then the silver,
Acrylic
I don't
and
know.
leather, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. No, it's leather. Oh, well, maybe the
red.
the red, the lettering, the RBM, Riley Black Media. And then I don't know if you can tell, but on the actual acrylic part, it's different kinds of cameras.
That was pretty. That was cool.
Like silhouettes of different cameras.
Yeah.
And then there's
Good
another.
idea, Tabitha.
Yes, Tabitha, you killed it. She, I was like, oh, I need some more hats.
Yeah, and she was like, same logo, or
And
you want to?
She's like, oh, I was kind of thinking of tweaking. I'm like, tweak away. Let me see what you got.
Let me see. Yeah.
Let me see. And it can't. It was, this one was my favorite, and then the other one is just the same RBM on its own, but bigger across the middle.
I like them.
Yeah, I really like them. They're really good.
And speaking of merch, although this isn't like. I mean, you can purchase it if you really want to, but you're just gonna have to send them a message because
mine's not for sale. It's for me. I'm selfish like that.
We should do some. I need to create a logo.
The light. I gotta make sure the light's on my face.
I need to create the logo that's just the TRBP. And I would love to do some like that for the podcast with like a microphone or something like that. But anyway, talking about merch that we actually have. The shirts and everything are completed. She texted me today, so we'll be going to pick those up tomorrow, and then probably shipping them out the next day. It'll take us a minute to go through them and get them going. But that's
maybe
exciting.
We'll be able to ship out Tom's shirt.
Maybe, or maybe we'll just make him wait another year.
Okay. I'll try to remember to bring it to the
kidding,
conference.
Tom. Love you. What else? Oh, so this weekend, we had our 10-year
vow renewal.
I swear, I'm not sleepy. It was awesome.
Some strange. So we did it at home.
Yeah.
With friends and family.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I got so nervous.
Oh my God. We were, I mean, mind you, so there was a lot like building up to it. Like there was a rough night the night before. Yeah. There was lots of cancellations, including our officiant, like quote officiant, because it was literally really in our living room. It wasn't like anything crazy. Yeah. But so our officiant and her husband, they got food poisoning, so they couldn't come. And then there was a death in the family of people who were coming. Yep. And then there was sickness. There was all everything. The things. So we went literally from 28 confirmed, like days before, to like 12-ish. Yeah. It might have even been less. Who knows? But
we still had a great time.
Yeah, it was a great time. And then your brother started talking, and then it was like, I'm going to vomit.
Well, even before that, I was just like leading up to it when you were like, oh, we're gonna do it at 4.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. And I was prepared. Right. I had my vows written. Yeah. I was good.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I started feeling this like pit in my stomach.
Same.
And I'm like, why am I so nervous?
Yeah,
I'm not getting married. I can't go. I can't say no.
Right? Like we clearly have made the decision to like there's been no talks of ending this. So why are we nervous about?
So it'd be weird.
It would be. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to run it without you. Yeah, so it would definitely end.
I was so nervous. I had mic set up, the cameras and everything. I didn't hit record. That's how nervous I was. I didn't hit. You can't believe I did that. Man, I came back after everything was said and done. I came back to the camera to hit record, and literally like the reels that I see all the time, the counter started going, and I'm like, oh God. That wasn't recording at all.
And thank God we would have had video. So like, Amelia sent me video.
Yeah, like Heather was recording.
Like we got all that video.
Going.
We have the live, which I hate the angle on the live.
Yeah. So it's documented, but I mean at the same time, I had like
and then we had technical difficulties with the live. Like it kept like pausing and starting and pausing. So it was like there's just so much like build up and whatever. Yeah. But it was a great time.
Yeah,
but it was exhausting. What else? And then the conference that's coming up. Trying to prep for that. I planned Sunday to be like a relaxed day and not do anything except like just plan like on my phone or things that I could do like, chill.
Right.
And then I was like, there's so much to do. I need to get started on it. So, I started getting a move on all that stuff and bagged up as much as I could. And then we ran out of bags. Then I had to order more bags. And then I realized we didn't have nearly enough keychain thingies. So I ordered
a lot more.
Like 30,000 more last night. So, come prepared with some money.
Yeah, please take the things.
Go, right? I don't want to take them back. Like, we will.
Listen, she says we, but we really are traveling there, and then I'm traveling back home by myself because she's going from there to Denver. So I'm going to be traveling back home. So please don't let me.
Right.
Please don't.
Please make it much lighter for him. Yeah.
So, but no, it's gonna be exciting. I'm excited to see everybody and be in that energy.
Yeah.
Be in that and come back.
We need that
super
for sure.
Motivated.
It's been like
ready to go.
It's been really hot and cold here. Like it'll be hot. Like things are amazing. Everything's great. Right. This is gonna work out. And then I swear it's like the next day. It's like cold. Done. Like nope. Yeah. We're done. This isn't gonna work.
Yeah, none of this stuff is working. We're wasting our time.
Yeah.
We gotta go get real jobs and but no, we're not.
So I need that energy, that motivation, and for sure. All that. So
for sure, it's gonna be an awesome time. Hope to see everyone there that's watching. That's watched this far. If you watch this far, I'm pretty sure you're going.
Right?
Because you're pretty dedicated to the game.
Us. You can't.
Well, not even just us. You're pretty dedicated to the laser game and the laser community. So you're probably going if you're listening this far.
Yeah.
And if you're not, there's still and if you're not, there's still some tickets available.
Yeah, I think there is. Although they said that tickets would be guaranteed tickets until when this is airing, the 10th.
Oh, okay.
But no, not when it's airing, when we're recording. Today's the 10th.
Today's the 10th, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's still tickets left, but if there's space, I know that they were going to allow people, until they could.
So come on out.
Yeah.
And it's a great time to be had. We'll be doing a live show from there.
Yeah.
So it'll be great. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's all we got.
That's all we got. So it's been another great episode of the Riley Black Project. Chris and John.
Bye.
Maybe we're all done.